Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of French auction portal Transverse, and we're having a look at an auction by Pousse-Cornet, which is an auction also based in France. This particular auction is due to go live on the 11th of July. It's the 9th today, so a couple of days left to go. It seems that there's 20% kind of buyer's premium. There may be some other kind of taxes and things involved in that. This is a big auction of a whole load of different stuff, Pokemon cards, toys and stuff, but we're just going to have a look at the musical instrument part. I think it's kind of under 100 lots of musical instruments, but it's definitely enough for us to cover, and there's a few interesting things. As I always say, check out the terms and conditions, shipment and import, export, and any kind of restrictions on CITES materials, etc. All of that normal fun stuff. You can find all the information here. And yeah, without further ado, let's kind of just check what we have. I think we're starting a bit on near the end of page 2, and it finishes near the beginning of page 4 in terms of musical instruments. So let's see what quality of things we have here. So a cello bow by Violin in all its parts. So this is a pretty straight into something fairly substantial here, 18 to 22,000 euros there. We've got 10 photos, I believe, on this. You can see the general, a few more. Yeah, so that's some interesting photos there. Not too bad. 68.5 grams, has some wear. Looks like they've been using Mr. Jean-Francois Raffin as their expert, so I think you can't really argue too much with that, as he is the person that you really want to, or himself and Pierre Guillaume are the people that you want in terms of a certificate on a French bow, so that is fairly good. Now we're onto a violin, a Maggini model, a French Maggini model here, 100 to 120 euros. You've got 3 pictures, no other 369 length of back, that's pretty long, no other information, it's fairly generic. Another Miracle violin here, 5 to 600 euros. Deblay Workshop, 357 length of back, so quite big as well. I think I'm struggling to speak today. It is extremely hot here, so I'm definitely not processing things as normal. Here is a 3/4 violin, Medifino. It's the kind of low grade French violin. Seems to have a bow with it. Looks pretty kind of tradey, 10 to 20 euros. German student violin, full size, 1987. Not giving much more information other than that, 30 to 40 euros. Full size violin with a Scarampella label there. Has some cracks. Looks like the varnish has been messed with a bit. Bow looks kind of like it's had some problems. Here's some violin cases. Nothing too exciting to see there. Another full size violin there, 35.8 length of back, label for clots, fractured head, 200 to 250 euros. So it needs a good bit of repair there. On to the next page. A contemporary Chinese violin. Interesting, they've got the pin marks and things in. I mean, it's okay looking instrument, other than maybe these kind of choices of wood, but 600 to 800 euros there. Half size Miracle violin there with some worm. Otherwise kind of looks okay for a half size. Interesting, a violin by F. Salazar in the Miracle, 19th century. It's lost a bit of itself there. Needs a bit of restoration. Fairly interesting looking violin there for 120, 125 euros. Needs substantial repair, but kind of interesting. Contemporary full-size violin. Once again, kind of fairly nice looking, 600 to 800 euros. So the Mircore violin here, 35.8. Double purfling, looks pretty uninspiring, 300 to 500 euros. Half-size violin companion, it's another kind of low-end one in some serious need of repair, 10 to 15 euros. That seems probably about right, if not a bit optimistic. Contemporary full-size violin with a Pierre Hell label. I mean, 600 to 800 euros, looks fairly interesting, but who knows what it is these days. Full-size violin Mircore, end of the 19th century, 36.4, another seriously long instrument, 250 to 300 euros. Violin made in Mircore in the 20th century, 35.9, another very long violin. The French definitely like did like to make them quite long. Here's another full-size violin from the East, apparently. This looks like a kind of standard 19th century kind of fake kind of violin, trying to look like something else, something older, 600 to 800 euros. Here is a Viola from Eastern Europe, and a 3/4 Mircore violin. Looks fairly low grade kind of stuff. Here is a full-size violin, 35.2. They're saying amateur work. Not really sure if it's necessarily amateur work, because the F holes are kind of quite at least symmetrical to each other, more just something very low kind of, you know, price kind of point. And the back's kind of interesting enough, maybe something German or something like very kind of cheap and cheerful kind of stuff. So interesting nevertheless. Another modern violin here. Quite a few of these violins look fairly similar. 20th century violin, kind of Maggini style. 1500 to 2000. Yeah, it looks a bit more interesting. 35.6 length of back. Viola with a label of G. Dedelia, 600 to 800. I'm saying it's German. Looks a bit fiddled about with. Full-size violin at 35.9, another giant one. Actually quite a nice back on it. Shame about the broken button. 100 to 120. I mean, it's probably nothing too spectacular, but interesting looking. A Viola here with the label of Bellefontana. Looks fairly kind of modern. Could be perhaps Chinese or Hungarian or something. A full-size violin with the label of Capriccioni. Probably just completely pronounced that wrong. A couple of bows. Yeah. 600 to 800. And moving on. Got a cello here with a label of Émile Laurent. Looks at least fairly clean. Full-size cello with a Mario Baldocci label, 1500 to 2000. Interesting looking thing. It's not too bad looking. Whole load of bows. Oh, they've gone to town with the pictures here. Oh, there's a couple of these. Seem to be focusing on a few key bows. Yeah, a couple of the bows look fairly interesting. So could be an okay lot for someone there, 200 to 300 euros. Now we're moving on to some guitars. Miracle guitar there, romantic style. This is fairly low quality. This one, 200 to 300, nothing too exciting. German guitar, early 20th century. Once again, I think it's got some dubious Elkhart label in there, but nothing too exciting on that. Another Miracle guitar there, JTL label. I mean, it's a fairly standard, it's had some repairs, it's nothing too exciting on that one, unfortunately. A Lute guitar, 20th century, lost its bridge. These things are not particularly nice in my opinion, there's a lot of them floating about. 3 painted tambourines, that's something a little bit different, 50 to 80, would look good on a wall of an English pub. I think piano accordion here by Francois Dedenis. Actually quite nice case on that, that's quite interesting, 50 to 80 euros. Selma Clarinet here, 80 to 100. Buffet crampon, mid-20th century, a bassoon, just that one picture there, 800 to 1200. It's a valve trumpet, Bonnell Hens, 30 to 50. It's a trumpet by Couturier, Lyon, 50 to 80 euros. It's a military claron, marked Cousineau. Trombone, marked Jérôme Thibouville. Hohner harmonica tremolo, that's bloody huge, 39.5 centimeters. That's absolutely gigantic. Wow, I don't think I've seen one quite that large before. That is quite interesting. Here's a bandoline, marked Paul Boucher. It's missing its bridge, I think that's what they're saying. And mandolin here with foliage decoration, pretty generic type bowlback mandolin. An accordion here, Paolo Sopranin Figli. There's a lot of these about. Piccolo oboe, marked Millero, and a piccolo transverse flute, marked Thibouville. And a drum, marked Cousineau. And a bow in silver, bow silver mounted with Pernambuco by JTL, 100 to 200 euros. Another violin in a Maggini kind of style, 354 length the back. There's some repair there, it's a fairly standard tradey one. A bow in wood, well, yep, I think you're correct, it is a bow in wood. Yeah, I mean, the head's kind of gone. I mean, 20 to 40 euros seems a bit optimistic, but you never know. German violin, 20th century. Doesn't look too bad from the back, 150 to 200. It's a viola bow here, Pernambuco, signed Gustave Viau, 350 to 400 euros. Saying a beautiful violin made in Miracle in the Colin Mazat workshop, 350 to 400. Looks in fairly good condition, to be fair. Three-quarter bow made in Miracle. A trumpet in silver metal with 3 pistons by Henri Selma. A set of vinyls. I think that's not for us to cover. And now I think we're on the last bit of the instruments. Yeah, just a couple of things left, and that's it. Transverse flute in silver metal by Blessing Elkhart. Looks like it's a bit worn there. Miracle violin labelled Fournier, 150 to 180 euros. Pretty standard stuff. Full size violin, 358 length of back. Pretty low grade type thing. Mandolin with a Giuseppe Manfredi label. Nope. Two violins, one with a Strad label. Okay. Interesting. One probably French and one German, 150 to 200. Quite an interesting case. Two bows here. Not the greatest. And the last musical instrument lot here, Selma Clarinet in B flat. It's 100 to 150 euros. Well, that's it really. That's all of that we have for the musical instrument auction. Interesting enough, some good photos. Nothing kind of outrageously jumping out, other than possibly that first Meline cello bow, but nevertheless an interesting auction. I'll put a link in the description. Check it out yourself, see what you think. Apologies for the slightly kind of wonky commentary. Like I said, it is extremely hot here, so I'm struggling a bit. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao. Many thanks for tuning in to the Musical Instrument Investigator. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and turn on notifications, and watch out for the next video coming soon.